Hello there. Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline live in the BPTV studios. We got all our lights on for Skip Atkins. Hope you like the picture here, folks. I put a white shirt on to see how it would show up. It looks pretty darn good. Thanks for watching our show. We appreciate it. We're on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park and everywhere in the greater Pittsburgh area. Comcast 7 only in Bethel Park, so thanks for all the great feedback from all of you that I see each week and our regular viewers and the new ones that have come aboard. Facebook, we hit a brand new high, 6,612 likes. Thank you. We appreciate all the watching of our show and the likes. Even had somebody ask where our last photo was that I posted on Facebook with USS Fight Academy. Said 1712 North Lincoln Highway.
Wow.
There's where Smoking Jim Frazier lives. Somewhere out there. So got a lot of good feedback there, and we got a great show for you tonight. Chip Hayner's not going to make it tonight, so
Really?
we won't have any trivia. I got Smoking Jim Frazier to try to fill in the gap there. He'll come out with Fiction and Fact and Smoking Jim's Almanac and maybe some other stories. We'll see what he did today, if we're allowed to ask. He was on a mission. He can't tell anybody about it, but he's here for the show, and we're going to start it pretty soon. I do have some promos we will go over, and I'm going to start that right now. First one is Joey Fabus. We honor him with Stay Joey Strong at the end of each show. It's the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. Donate money as little as $1, 501c3. They had the basketball girls team doing some charity event for them just the other day. They had a lot of great feedback and donations, so keep up the good work and check it out. Next we have the Bethel Park Historical Society. It's at the Schoolhouse Arts and History Center right there on Library Road. You can check it out. It's been around for a while, 501c3. They converted an old school, and they just got 5,000 windows in there, brand new, so it looks pretty nice. A lot of great work, a lot of rental property there too. People rent out the storefronts, and they do some business and events there. Now, the Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you and your group in the Bethel Park area. Any organization who needs money can get from $100 to $5,000. Contact bpcf.org. That's at BethelParkCommunityFoundation.org. Check it out. Ask for money. You get from $100 to $5,000. They do have money and do help people in the community. Next, Dave likes to have some fun with me. I Want You for BPTV. He put me in place of Uncle Sam. I think I look pretty good there. Check it out. Thanks, Smoking Jim. 412-831-3304. Give Dave Cable a call. You could be here with Devin Shea, Steve, the Rookie of the Year Fisher, and other people who come in and help us out behind the scenes here. So it's always needed, and we appreciate their help. Now we're going to start for my favorite part of the show of What's on Your Mind. This is sponsored by Skeets Lewandowski. Anything that runs on gas, Skeets can take care of it. You name it. If it runs on gas, he can fix it. From lawnmowers, snowmobiles, trucks, cars, boats, you name it. He'll fix it. He has a forge there. They make different products. Smoking Jim, they'll make you a knife.
I need one.
You need a knife? We'll get you a nice shiny knife from Skeets. You need hooks for your clothes? We'll make a hook. You can pound it in the wall, and you can hang your jacket on there. No matter what season it is. Since you don't get hot or cold, we won't worry about it. Maybe put a nice coat on there in the summer. Give them a call at 724-348-4715. Again, this phone number is 724-348-4715. He's in Finleyville. Real easy, right past the Trax Farm, Mineral Beach. He's right past there. You can't miss it. There's even a Dairy Queen less than a half a mile from his place. So check out Skeets Lewandowski's Skeets Service Station. And they sponsor this What's on Your Mind. I got to start with Smoking Jim Frazier. What's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
here it is.
You got the C, Levine. Hey, can Skeets make me a hook to put my cap? I got a,
yes.
Real good Cleveland Indian
He'll make you
cap.
a real good cap.
As a
since they're getting rid of the logo. Are you bringing up race?
No, I was just saying I don't want it to get ruined.
Because I never saw you with the Cleveland Indians hat.
Because I keep it in
I've seen you wearing a Bulls hat that you wear because of the Cubs.
I keep it in mint condition, man.
You're not a baseball guy, buddy.
But hey, congratulations to 2 City League teams. Westinghouse Bulldogs ranked in the top 10 in the state. And friend of the show, Alderdice Dragons on 11-game win streak. Buddy Valansky, friend of the show.
Yeah, we got to get him back on.
They're also a top 10 rated team in the state. And Westinghouse, for all those basketball fans, they have a 6'11" player named, I call him King James Ellis. And he's almost averaging a quadruple double, which is points, assists, block shots, and rebounds.
Wow. So, barely got that all in.
Yeah, a lot of junior colleges are looking at him.
I heard he needs to boost those grades up, so he will be going to junior college.
Yeah, you heard about that.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Okay, yeah.
I follow all sports, buddy.
That's good.
There's no secrets.
I was kind of saving that nugget, but if it's out there, it's out there. But and a lot of blacks are playing basketball, but very few.
Pardon me?
But very few are playing baseball. So I was up at Williamsport today trying to ask the white folks why black folks ain't playing baseball. So that's one of the reasons why I was up at Williamsport. But what's on my mind is...
I'm glad you made it back from Williamsport.
Thank you. Safely. The police didn't pull me over or anything. The weather was
well, the way
bad.
you drive, they're not going to be pulling you over for speeding. They might pull you over for going across lanes without a turn signal or something.
I was dozing a little bit. You know, it was a long way up there and back. But what's on my mind is I wanted to kind of straighten this prediction I got for next year about Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot of people are kind of confused, think I'm knocking Ben, and I'm not doing that.
You love Ben.
I love Ben. I'm predicting next year that the Pittsburgh Steelers will break all records offensively, especially if they re-sign Le'Veon Bell or they franchise him. And the reason for that, and the record is the 2013 Denver Broncos set the scoring record, and I think the Steelers can break that by averaging 38 points a game. I think Ben will pass for over 5,000 yards. And the reason for that is the Pittsburgh Steelers organization haven't been helping Big Ben out a lot. And by the way, James Harrison, when asked today if he was sleeping in the meetings, he says, who hasn't slept in the meeting? So James Harrison, honest man, never threw his teammates under the bus.
Never helped his teammates either.
Pretty much admitted.
Never helped his teammates, man. When you're lifting by yourself 1,300 pounds, you don't have anybody spotting. Now, you know that is somebody spotting the weights. Why is that? If you're truly about helping others, why wouldn't you let one of these young guys who needs your help spot you? He never had anybody else in the video spotting.
That is true.
Sorry.
That is true.
Just had to debunk some of that, all about the team.
But I kind of compare Big Ben to Brett Favre, who is one of my favorite, if not my all-time favorite, offensive players. And Brett Favre was like Big Ben, the last guy to get on the practice field and the first guy to get off. And the reason that, I mean, and then you see guys like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, who just live for, working out, coaching, making everybody better. But here's how the Steeler organization never helped Big Ben. Big Ben gets his timing in game situations. So Antonio Brown they get a chemistry together because they work on things during the game and they feel comfortable. Over the years, the Pittsburgh Steelers, when Ben would be comfortable with a group of receivers, they would get rid of receivers because they're such a good team in drafting receivers. So, you get rid of a guy like Nate Washington, who I call Nasty Nate because of all the strippers he used to be with. Then you get rid of one of the best receivers in football, Santonio Holmes, who never failed a marijuana drug test.
Well, what did he do afterwards, Santonio, to impress
But he
you?
was here with
But
Ben.
he didn't impress me after he left.
Yeah, but he would have been
happened
good.
to him?
He'd have been good.
What
here
happened
with
to him,
Ben.
I ask?
Him and Ben had
No,
that
but what
chemistry
happened?
together.
Yeah, but
yeah.
he just fell off the table.
He fell off the NFL map, but he was on his way to a Hall of Fame career here. Then you had a guy like Emmanuel Sanders. As soon as Ben got the chemistry with Emmanuel Sanders, they got rid of him.
Hold it. He never caught a pass here. He had stone hands.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders. I couldn't believe he could catch the ball when he got to Denver.
Yeah,
It's cold there.
Got the ball good, but the reason I'm predicting so much success is because the organization finally has everybody under contract next year. Antonio Brown, best receiver in the NFL. Vance McDonald, one of the better tight ends in the NFL. Jesse James.
He got to learn to catch a little better.
A little bit better, but Ben's starting to feel comfortable with him. Jesse James is.
But when
is
you
a
hear
guy,
that clunk off the hands,
Yeah.
you can't get very comfortable.
But when the guy's such a great athlete, you're still going to go to him every once in a while because he's going to make big plays for you. But then you have Juju, who has a role on the team. Then you have Martavis Bryant late in the year. Ben didn't get the chemistry with him in practice because Ben wasn't at practice much. But during the game, finally, last 4 or 5 games, Martavis Bryant came along. So next year I expect big things from him. And 85 catches from your running back, Le'Veon Bell. So you throw all that in the pot and look for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Big Ben to break all kind of records because the organization is finally doing what they should do for a guy who does not spend that much time on the practice field. You got to make sure he's comfortable with the receivers that he already knows. And that's what's on my mind, my prediction.
Wow, that's some deep thinking. You predicted the Steeler offense would be the greatest like 2 years ago.
But they keep getting rid of guys that Ben is comfortable with, and it takes him a whole season, first half of the season, to start getting comfortable.
What about that? I just got to ask a question. What about the high ball that he threw all 3/4 of the year?
Yeah, because he wasn't.
But it's a high ball.
He wasn't practicing.
Why
with
wouldn't you
those
throw it
guys
in the ground a
practice.
few times? Every ball was high.
Yeah. But once he got comfortable with where guys
The
were going to
last
be
4 games,
in
I'm
a
saying.
game. Yeah, the last 4 or 5 games, he really came on because he
could get that ball. He just
Yeah.
arced the ball in there. It dropped in.
Yeah, it's a little different from Brady and Peyton Manning, who actually gets that timing down during practice. Ben's out on a golf course. Him and Tiger Woods.
Really?
Make a comeback on a golf course.
Wow. Thanks, Smoking Jim. You tossed in Tiger there. What's on my mind is Baseball Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds didn't get 57% of the vote. Roger Clemens didn't get 57% of the vote. They needed 75%. Smoking Jim loves Barry Bonds. He's the leading home run hitter. Chip's not here to say no, he's not. And was never convicted of steroids or anything like that, but his head size double or tripled, so everybody knew he had to be on something. Same with Clemens throwing bats at Mike Piazza. He had anger problems there. He had that roid rage that Smoking Jim talks about. You got to watch that. Maybe James Harrison has that too, and nobody can get near him. Might be something like that. But Chipper Jones got in with 97% of the vote. Trevor Hoffman, nice relief pitcher, got in. A couple others. So just goes to show you there's still a taint with the PED scandal. And people have been bringing up about what about the amphetamines that guys were on in the 40s, 50s, 60s. Guys were on amphetamines. Didn't that help them in their performances? So who knows? They used to take greenies and stuff like that. They talk about it. So who knows what goes on? And they weren't illegal at the time. So different things happen. But there's still a taint. They think a lot of the old writers hold that against Bonds and Clemens, that they were on PEDs. So Who knows if they'll get in. Bonds was a heck of a player, not the best person to be around, but hey, you don't have to be the greatest person to get in the Hall of Fame. There's plenty in there that maybe even shouldn't be or wouldn't be voted in today. So who knows? Maybe you weren't allowed to drink and come in hungover like Babe Ruth did. So these things happen over time, but that's what's on my mind is they're keeping guys out who could definitely qualify for the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. All right, we're going to come back to Fiction and Fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. Got to give a shout out to my main man, Devin Shea, in the control room. And the Rookie of the Year, Steve, is in, and so proud of Steve with his academics. College student, future leader.
Really?
Future leader.
Where is he? I don't see him.
They're here somewhere.
Okay.
But Fiction and Fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac is pretty good this time. This week I had lunch with Pittsburgh Steelers legend J.T. Thomas.
No way.
And by the way, for the people watching here in Bethel Park and all over from Nemacolin all the way down through Monroeville, JT just opened up, chocolate mocha, some kind of coffee shop.
Wow.
Right in the Hill District, right across from the Hill House.
Get on.
So I'm going to come in and told JT I'll come in and let him scramble a few beans for me and see how good that coffee is. But it's a great franchise. They got some of them all over the city, so he's excited about it. I'm excited about it. But I asked JT what was his greatest, and by the way, his grandson plays for Gateway. And
nice.
So we like to get all those Super Bowl Steelers to have their kids play at Gateway, the defending, undisputed WPIL champions. And I asked JT, I says, what was your best Super Bowl moment? So JT Thomas, who, by the way, was the first black player in Florida State history in 1969. Now you look at Florida State, it's all black.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks black, the backup quarterback's black. But JT was the first in 69. He says his most memorable moment was the Immaculate Reception. And I had to cut in on him. I says, wait a minute, you weren't on the team then. You were first round draft pick in 73.
Yeah.
He says, I was at Poca Alta. Is that a place in California out there for the East-West Shrine game? And he said he's at the East-West Shrine game, and he says he grew up in the Bible Belt, Macon, Georgia. He says he's never had $500 on him in his whole life, and he happened to have $500 on him. And he said he bet about 30 players, $30 each, that the Pittsburgh Steelers would beat the Oakland Raiders.
Wow.
And he said, man,
Why?
he tried to sneak out the room. He said the Steelers are getting beat. And I didn't do my best journalism on it because I should have asked why.
Yeah.
And because he had no idea he'd get drafted by the Steelers. And he says, man, he said the Steelers are down. He says, man, he'd have to come out of his pocket about $900, and he didn't have it. And he tried to sneak out, man. They was blocking the door, and all of a sudden he hears this roar. And Franco catches the ball and scores, and he said he made $900. And he also told me at the time, he says, man, they spend so much time in the community when he was part of the Steeler organization that in the offseason, a lot of times they made more money in the community than they made in their base salary.
Really?
You know, playing basketball and doing community events. And he said that's one of the reasons why they were so visible, because it was a good payday. But he told me, being at the Super Bowls this week, and I got heavy money on New England Patriots and James Harrison, he told me that his first Super Bowl story, he says, man, you know, he was an immediate starter.
Sure.
But he said they're in the tunnel and they're scared to death. He said the Vikings look like the old Vikings.
Purple
people eaters. And he says that the big white offensive linemen had the big beards, and he says they're in the tunnel scared to death. And he says, man, he said most games we had it won before the game even started. He said, but man, we were tight. We were scared to death. And he said, but Glenn Edwards loosened them up. He said Glenn Edwards, his old college teammate, played for Minnesota and wouldn't shake his hand before the game.
Wow.
And he said Glenn Edwards comes in there and he starts pointing at the Minnesota Vikings, saying stuff we can't say on air.
Yeah.
We're going to do this to you. We're going to do that. And he said Joe Green and Ernie Holmes and everybody and Lambert. He said Lambert started bleeding from the top of his mouth because he didn't have no teeth, man. He said they just went out there and just totally dominated. And then he told me that in his opinion, the best team they had was a 76 team when they had 6 shutouts or whatever they had.
Wow.
And Franco and Rocky went down before. So he said that was their very best team. But he said the one year they had 11 players on defense go to the Pro Bowl. So what a great defense. I told him that I thought that his defense was slightly better than Jacksonville's defense, and he agreed. I give the 76 Steelers the edge over Jacksonville.
Dude,
but
when did that happen after they gave up 42 points?
That's what everybody says. They gave up 42 points, but I remind everybody that they beat the Steelers 30-9 early in the season, and they beat the Ravens 44-7, and they beat every team in the Steeler division in the Steelers twice. So they are the true AFC North champions.
You have a good theory, but no truth to it.
But that's my fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac. Congratulations, J.T. Thomas. I'm sure his proudest moment is watching his grandson play for Gateway. Wide receiver.
You forgot to ask him. Another journalist mistake. Smoking Jim. Thanks for your fiction and fact.
You're welcome.
On location, we're getting set up for our show on February 12th at Olive Oil's Pizzeria, 930 Brookline Boulevard. Frank Venero will have us back again. Got a great guest coming, got a good lineup. Billy Nardozzi, the poet, is going to talk some sports. Maybe he'll even come up with another poem. I met a friend of mine, a Facebook friend at Hollywood Lanes. They had a fashion show. Natalie Sugars, beautiful young lady, great singer. She was dressed as Cleopatra, Cher, and numerous other things, had a gold outfit. You'll just have to see some of the pictures. Oh, Frank Favis took a couple shots of us, so you have to see that too. But he took plenty of those photos there. Got these guests coming out here to have some fun. Glenn Anderson with the basketball coaches will be talking to us about it. And I forget the guy he brings with him, who his partner is. You remember? No, you're good with names. I forgot. But they'll be coming out, so we'll have some fun talking sports. That's 7:30 to 8:30. Come on out to Olive Oil's Pizzeria. $5 hoagies, $5 large pizzas, 1 topping. You can't beat the price. The food's great. People love it. Smoking Jim orders 2. He can't hold back. And then we'll be on location. We're coming back for our first show at Hollywood Lanes. We've been off for a little hiatus from there, and we'll be there February 19th. Check out that show, 7:30 to 8:30. We got the Wildcats football team. They just are coming off a fresh championship again, 2 in a row. They went to Daytona Beach to get another trophy. So you have to check it out. So the 12th, Olive Oil's Pizzeria, 19th, Hollywood Lanes. Come check out On Location. Let's talk some Penguins, Smoking Jim.
All right.
They've been on a roll here, winning some games.
Second place right now, right?
Yeah. They were barely in the playoffs before, and now they're second place. Who knows? Maybe they could win this division.
You predicted it.
Well, I predicted Stanley Cup #3. They're getting some good goal defending. Casey DeSmith has come in there and played pretty well. So Murray's going to be back. He's the #1 goaltender no matter what Sullivan's doing. He's still his #1 goaltender. So we will see him. And the players are starting to kick their game up a little bit. They realize their back is truly against the wall. And they did come out and scored some goals and picked up the pace a little bit. And they're shooting that puck. And that's what helps. Although a little bit off the Penguins, but Smoking Jim's favorite hockey player after Gretzky, Jaromir Jagr, was released, and he's going to go play in the European League.
For Czech?
Yeah, Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, they're excited.
Well, he's from that area.
Yeah.
You got to be excited. 45-year-old guy going over there for $1 million?
Hey, when you're 45, you want to play at least till you're 46.
You think? Mm-hmm. He wants to play till he's 50.
I'll second that.
Wow, what a player. I remember when he come here as a rookie with Mario Lemieux was his hero.
Long hair.
Yeah, had a nice mullet going.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Easy
eating
to
his
spot
Kit
when he's
Kats,
out.
eating the Kit Kats and going to the strip clubs. And driving 100 miles an hour on 10-mile-per-hour school zones. So
My
other than that,
my kind of guy.
he didn't hurt anybody, so that's what happens. But yeah, the Penguins are coming back. Second place they are, so it's a lot more fun watching the Penguins right now. Crosby's been doing well. Malkin's been out there shooting the puck and getting some goals. Phil Kessel's been great this year. You got Letang still trying to find himself a little bit on the ice. He come back from his, injury and all that, a little weak, but he's putting in all kind of minutes because he's in such great shape. But it takes a while to get adjusted to the speed of the game. So we'll see there. We've got to watch the Penguins. They got to turn that on because the win 3 Stanley Cups is rare in this era of the cap and, losing players all the time. So it's something I think they can do. They got a good coach in Sullivan. He shakes these players up, and he's not afraid to yell at them, which is unusual for a coach. And he's still there, so we'll see what happens. You get to watch any of these games, Smoking Jim? Or?
I don't miss them.
You don't miss them?
Yeah.
Well, you aren't seeing them either. That was a good one. You don't miss them. You got to put them on the TV, buddy. AT&T Sportsnet. Just get a little view of them, see what's going on. I know the Steelers aren't playing, but you were just giving us a little highlight of how the Steelers are going to do well with Big Ben. I didn't realize Big Ben doesn't really practice that much.
Oh, yeah.
Get on.
Fact, yeah. Nothing wrong with that. He ain't the only quarterback or player that's like that. He's a Hall of Famer. There's other Hall of Famers like that. Like I said, Brett Favre. No knock, but when you have a guy like that don't practice, you have to keep the nucleus intact because he's comfortable. He can close his eyes next year and complete passes. He couldn't do that this year.
Well, what are they going to do with Le'Veon Bell?
I would re-sign him because he 85
at a franchise tag, $14.45 million.
Well, I would sign him to a long-term contract. That's just me.
What's a realistic number?
I'd pay him $20 million. That's what I would pay.
$20 million a year for how many years?
5 years.
$100 million.
Yeah, he's worth it. Yeah, he's worth that.
What happens when he gets injured?
Well, we don't live in our fears. Yeah.
This was the only year he played in 16 games. They made him sit out one.
Well, Big Ben and quarterbacks miss games too, and they make more money than anybody. So
it's a quarterback league.
Yeah.
It's a quarterback league. You know that.
Well, so they say. Yeah.
Well,
but I see a walk-on.
Look at Cousins making like $27 million a year. Come on.
Yeah, and I also see Foles, a walk-on, is playing for about league minimum.
As well he should. When he went to the Colts, he blew it there.
Yeah, he did.
We can't talk about history, can we? Yeah. I mean, now he's lighting them up. Had a great game.
But, I've come on the airways several times and talk about Antonio Brown's snot-nosed kids. But they're boys. They can take it. But with that radio reporter did to Brady talking about his little daughter, I think that I would have him fired for that. You don't talk about little girls. That's off limit to talk about that. I'll talk about Antonio Brown snot-nosed kids all day long. They're boys. They can take it.
How many kids does he have?
Well, him and Mike Tyson, knowingly, they have about 6 or 7 knowing kids, but you don't know the unknown.
Mike Tyson, too.
Yeah, Mike Tyson got a bunch of kids. He probably got a kid in every state.
Really?
Yeah.
How does this happen?
Well, I think it's when this young society has been brainwashed that if you have a baby with a rich guy, he's going to take care of you the rest of your life. And for the most part, that happens until they go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Look at all of Evander Holyfield's bankrupt right now, and he can't take care of all those kids that he had illegitimate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
LeVar Arrington got a good illegitimate kid. He's a superstar basketball player for Lincoln Park here.
Get out.
Holmes, yeah. Great player. Junior.
Wow.
Junior.
Wow.
Yeah, illegitimate.
Really?
Yeah, great player, yeah.
Has this ever happened before?
Good bloodlines, though, you know? I wish he was an Arrington instead of a Holmes. It'd make it a little bit easier to follow him. But you talk about great bloodlines. Look at Dante Spatafor, 9th grade basketball player. Harry Spatafor's kid.
Yeah.
Playing good basketball.
What about boxing? He don't box.
You know what? His mom won't let him box. So, but he does get in the gym, and he's pretty good.
Really?
In the gym, but his mom won't let him box, so he's sticking with basketball. He got good work ethic.
She doesn't want scrambled eggs in the brain.
And what's wrong with that?
Buddy, you have issues too.
Yeah, I definitely did.
I know.
I definitely do, but
I'm just saying.
But you only live once, man. Go ahead and box. It's in your blood, you know?
Yeah, but then what happens when you don't even know your name and you're dribbling and drooling and you can't eat? You got to wear a diaper. What about that?
Well, all I know is I got heavy money on New England in the Super Bowl. You with me? You watching it?
I'll watch the game. I don't know. It's hard to go with New England. It's hard to go against them, but I think they win.
Well, see, as a Steeler fan, you're split because you don't know whether to go with James Harrison or LeGarrette Blount, 2 former Steelers.
No, I know which. LeGarrette Blount wasn't here for just a blink or two and a blunt. That's all he was here for, so it didn't last that long. I mean, he's done well. Yeah. James Harrison, he can go straight forward pretty good, so looking for a sack or two.
I think if James Harrison gets this Super Bowl here and he plays one more season, I think he's a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame. I don't think he was a Hall of Famer before that. I think he was borderline.
You gotta be kidding. Really?
80 sacks wasn't enough.
No.
80 sacks wasn't enough. Now he'll be getting close to 90. That puts you in the ballpark, plus the rings.
Yeah.
You know, and he won't be white ball like Mike Vrabel, who should be in the Hall of Fame, who's now the coach. Maybe he'll get into it because he'll be a good coach. But what does Vrabel have to do other than being black to get into the Hall of Fame? He doesn't even come up on the list.
I know. It's
Vrabel
shocking.
was a great player. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Offensively and defensively.
He caught about 11 touchdown passes.
About 11 touchdown passes.
I heard
sir.
you.
Yeah. This reverse discrimination is getting out of control.
Smoking Jim, you're all over it.
I'm the only one, seem like, isn't it?
I know what it's like. I'm like that at times too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hopeful for you. I just wish you'd find that curse on the Steelers from when Rooney Sr. couldn't win a game for 40 years. Couldn't win a championship. I don't know where that curse came from. Maybe the coaches he hired and the players that he paid for. I don't know. It's shocking to me.
I think that we should, and I'm really into baseball right now.
Why? What happened?
And I really think that you and I, you know, we're media people now. You know what I mean? People recognize us together as media people now. along with Devin Shea and the Rookie of the Year. I think we all should get together and have a powwow with Sid Bream and see if he can lift the curse off the Pirates. That's the only way they'll ever do it.
We cleared that up when Sid was on the show.
Curse. Still,
There never was a curse.
Yeah,
Somebody started putting it out there like you tried to say
curse.
Rooney Sr. was cursed. And you didn't find any proof of it. You found out he liked drinking with these guys and made them coaches. The players were out drinking. He liked that kid as a player and he's a good drinker. You found out those stories. There was no curse. No curse here.
I think you guys all agree with me when I said that going 73-9 was more important than winning the championship, especially now that Golden State got 2 championships. Look like they're going to win a third. Don't you agree that that was more important than the championship, 73-9?
No.
The record will never be broken.
That's a nice record, but I'd rather get the championships.
People win
They look
championship
good
every year.
hanging in the ceiling.
Yeah, they got 2 of them. They already had one at the time.
Yeah, but those hanging in the ceiling, they look nice. Look at Boston.
Wouldn't you rather have a record that'll never be broken? People win championships every year, whether they deserve it or not.
Look at your boy Pete Rose, the greatest singles hitter of all time, won't be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to break that record.
Yeah. But
So
they still
what?
got to talk about it.
Well, I just did.
Yeah, see?
So where's he at?
Yeah.
Waving goodbye.
Yeah.
He signed that death
Now,
sentence.
who would you rather have? Who was more well known? Chipper Harris, is that his name?
Chipper Jones.
Chipper Jones. or Pete
Legendary.
Rose? I didn't even
Chipper.
know. I didn't even know Chipper Jones played no baseball.
You might have thought he was a black guy.
I might have. Yeah. I don't know too many white Joneses.
I know. And they got that chop. They got that terrible chop.
I know 0 white Washingtons. If there's a white Washington out here, please call.
George.
Other than George.
He's calling
Other
the
than
father of our
George.
country.
Yeah. And the father of all the Washingtons, evidently, because every Washington, I've never met a white Washington, have you?
No.
And I've been looking for one for years.
How long?
At least 20 years I've been in search of a white Washington, man.
Folks, this is
Haven't
just,
you?
No. No, I never worried or cared about it because I don't really see color. I don't see color and whatever else. It's just unbelievable, Smoking Jim. What you see?
He's been all over the world. He's never met a white Washington either.
You never asked him. He might have. Who knows? Oh, by the way, Devin Shea said, Penguins won. They're winning.
Bingo.
1-0.
Bingo.
Rust got a goal. Got that in since you mentioned his name. Yeah, we'll go back to that White Washington story in a couple hundred years. No. Smoking Jim, I don't know where you get this stuff. Hey, since we're wandering around talking different subjects, we covered the Pens, a little bit Steelers. What about boxing on Saturday night at the Sokol Club?
Man,
what a
was
great
that
night of
awesome.
boxing. Kansas City versus Pittsburgh. Thanks to Jack Mook and Ted Mercanja for having us announce the fights and film. Just a great night of boxing.
I was a little disappointed that Keontae Irving, who's very popular here in southwestern Pennsylvania,
And been on our show and
been
loves
on
our show.
got good karma from our show, didn't get the opportunity to fight. I think a lot of the fans wanted to see him fight because it ain't going to be much longer they can see him fight for free.
You think he'll be pro?
He better be, man. How else you going to get out of Beaver Falls? You ever look around Beaver Falls anymore?
I think he moved out of Beaver Falls.
Good. Keep on moving, man.
No,
Never go
there.
back.
He's still there. It was nice to see him. I shook hands with him. It was nice also to see champion Tika Hemingway.
Man,
I
she
posted
look
that
good.
photo up
She look
today.
good. Them hips,
Where's
huh?
your photo of her? You didn't post it. Can't
I
believe
shared
that.
yours.
I know.
Yeah.
I saw you did. I posted that
She
up. It
got
was
some
nice to
good
talk
hips
to her.
on her, don't she?
She's in great shape, ready to turn pro. Can't beat
Where
that.
that power comes from.
Yeah, definitely. You got to step into it. Definitely. But we had some great fights. Who's your one of your favorites? That Brody?
Brody, he gives a lot of action. He won, right?
Yeah.
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 I'm very proud of Brody. Brody White.
Exactly. They had his name right this time.
Yeah.
They were calling him
Yeah.
Brady last
Yeah.
time. You corrected. It's
Yeah.
Brody. So it worked out. Just a great night of people there. It was crowded, packed place. for Saturday night.
Yeah.
A lot of action.
Daniel Buckley just keeps on winning, man.
Yeah, he was impressive there.
You got to go back 60 years to find a fighter like him. Maybe 65 years. That's how special he is.
Yeah, you were talking about it, but he's fresh. He's a young kid.
Yeah.
He can punch.
Yeah.
Got good footwork.
I like to see some of these guys turn pro a little earlier.
Do you?
How about my man, little Mikey's fighting in the Golden Glove, the Moore. Yeah. Yeah.
He's a little too young.
Why? Give him another year under his belt. He's all muscle, 119 pounds now. How about the USS Cunningham's kid? He's ready for the pros. He's in 9th grade.
Steve.
Yeah, what's he waiting on?
His dad said he got more to learn.
How about Silvio? Silvio can talk.
There's one to watch for.
Yeah,
Silvio
he's 16 now.
Sercom.
Turn pro. Who are you waiting on?
Well,
man?
look at Teddy Mercanja Jr., 19 years old. What a nice fight he had, huh?
Fast hands.
How about the power he got now?
Yeah, go to the body, but he got brittle hands.
Yeah.
He's hurt. As long as he keep them hands
He looked
strong.
healthy after the fight when we shook hands.
Can you dip your hands into something to harden them up? Or you just got to take a shot in there? Muhammad Ali used to have to take a shot in between the knuckles.
Get out.
Yeah. So.
How'd that work out?
Well, it worked out okay, but he didn't do much sparring and stuff in training camp to protect his hands.
Get out.
Couldn't hit the heavy
Another
bag.
guy that wouldn't practice, like Ben.
Yeah,
like Big
that's
Ben
how you
and
get
these
the
guys.
power. Well, sometimes, Muhammad Ali, sometimes he only worked out for a couple of weeks to get ready for a fight.
He wore those heavy boots and did the road work, though.
Yeah, yeah.
He believed in running.
Yes, he did.
Every day.
Running his mouth, too.
Well, he was good at it.
Yeah,
he could rhyme
he was
things.
great.
Sort of like you do.
Him and Howard Cosell, man, they were the best together.
Yeah, they made a good thing. Definitely. Interesting stuff there.
How did I get a peanut in my pocket? You put a peanut in my pocket, man?
I wish I would have rode with you and ate some of those peanuts.
I did. I sure did. They're all over my car, man.
How's that new car going?
Oh, so far so good. It's the first time I really had it on the road,
Yeah,
So
a little road trip.
It did good. Boy, does it heat up. Yeah, it
What do
heats
you
up,
mean?
man. The heater really works good.
You got heat in there.
Man, it's
Not
good
like
heat.
that truck of yours.
Yeah,
I'd
that
freeze
truck.
in there.
Yeah, brother. You had to be tough to ride in that truck.
I rode quite
It
a
was
few
ram
times.
tough. It was ram tough.
I know. It made me tougher and stronger. Eating peanut butter and drinking water.
You know what I'm going to try is peanut butter with raisins on top sandwich. A peanut butter sandwich with raisins on top.
Oh, really?
Because jelly goes bad. So peanut butter you can have, because I like a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but the jelly, once you open the jelly, you got to keep it in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try the raisins. What do you think? You ever try that?
I didn't try that, but what I do is I get dried apricots, and I love them. I cut them up and put them on my peanut butter sandwich.
Wow, see, now you're adding a knife. See, I don't have a knife. Maybe
it's a sharp knife.
Maybe Ski can make me a knife, but until then, raisins I can just grab them out the box and throw them in.
Yeah.
I don't have to cut dry apricot.
I've had them before. I've tried it.
Was it good?
It's not bad.
I like peanut butter. See, I'm a peanut butter and jelly man.
I like peanut butter straight up. Just make a
See, I
peanut
don't
butter
know.
sandwich.
Yeah, see, I don't, nah.
No way.
Nah.
Folks, we're giving you some inside scoop on how Smoking Jim can stay healthy and not eat those buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken every day.
I got me some chicken in the car.
I knew it. That Impala, you're loading it up. Jeez. We got to get you out to USS Fight Academy. They'll have you eating right. You got to join their weight loss program.
Yeah, I'm going to go there because I got a trainer from Cuba. Yeah.
I know. He was good.
Yeah.
Been here for a long time.
Anytime you make it from Cuba to the United States, you're an athlete.
Do you think he did it by bathtub? He said he'd come over when he was young. I didn't ask him that. I'm glad you like that, buddy. Well, as we take a little break for Smoking Jim to gather himself. What about the basketball season? I haven't heard you talk too much except Alderdice here.
Well,
how's my man Buddy doing there?
Well, always got to start when we talk basketball with the NBA. And the Golden State Warriors is the greatest sports team of all time. I said that many a times. And the Pittsburgh Penguins is second. I mean, they're doing some great things. Curry is just shooting out of his mind. They'll win another championship. College basketball.
How about Trey Young with Oklahoma?
Unbelievable freshman.
Is he something else? I just read an article about him.
Yeah.
That he's been this way. He was a star in high school there.
Yeah.
And he models his game after Steph Curry. He likes to be talked about in the same breath, although he's a little shyer.
Well, I would rate him behind Melo Ball, who's over in Lithuania. That's the best I've seen that's not in the NBA. Melo Ball, man.
In Latvia.
LaMelo Ball, whatever it is.
LaMelo, yeah. You can't even pronounce the big baller's name.
He is special. Trey Young ain't bad. He's great. But he's
averaging almost 30 points and 10 assists a game.
I watched him last week score 48 points.
I know. I saw that
game
too.
I seen another game when he had 22 assists.
I know.
And I didn't see anything.
He tied the record.
I didn't see anything that made me think he was better than LaMelo Ball.
That's
how special he is.
That was it. You saw exactly 2 games that was better than LaMelo Ball.
Oh, I seen Ball drop 43 against grown men.
It wasn't 48. And they're playing in Latvia.
That's pro ball over there. That's pro ball. That college.
It's like our Division 3.
No, that's Olympic.
No way.
Olympic
it's not
ready.
Olympic caliber.
But the kid's only in 10th grade. He's doing all that, man.
He's homeschooled. Look at him.
Yeah, he's special.
He don't even read books.
But high school, I tell you what, an underrated team that's really, really great this year that nobody's kind of flying under the radar is Gateway. Gateway. But City League, Westinghouse, Carrick, believe it or not.
Carrick.
And Alderdice. Alderdice is probably the best team in the area. But see, in the City League, you can be Class A, and I can be 6A, and we're still in the City League together competing for the same title. But we can go to states in our classification. So Westinghouse is a AAA team. Alderdice is a 6A team.
Wow.
So another good 6A team this year is a team that plays near Monroeville, go by the last name Indians. They're loaded. Yeah, they're loaded this year.
What's their logo look like?
Yeah, I gotta get me a cap. But they're loaded this year as well. Pine Ridgeland, unbelievable this year.
Nice.
Unbelievable team. So there's some real good teams out there.
We got to find out how Cannon Mac is since their coach Rick Bell was on our show.
Oh yeah, I forgot what
I know. I forgot to look at them.
I'm sure they're doing well.
Cannon Macmillan.
Yeah.
I forget how their football team finished up. They started off like 3 or 4-0.
Well, I think it hurt when the coach missed the meeting and come to our show. It hurt their
they started off strong.
So that was good.
They were strong.
Maybe should have missed another meeting.
Yeah, he should have come to Pittsburgh Sportsline again. Give us the update. We'll have to check back with these guys.
But DeMichael and that OSHA, whatever that team that
OSHA
that Spatafor plays for, I don't know what that team. Starts with an OSHL, whatever that team is.
I don't know.
Yeah,
where are they from?
They're from they're from the WPIL somewhere, but they got like 5 players that's scoring 15 or more points a game.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, so they're an unbelievable team. They're favored to win. Quaker Valley is just dominating everything, like I predicted.
Yeah,
they're going to be a dominant team for years.
Swickley kids and family.
Yeah, good Pittsburgh Sportsline karma. When I spoke at the Mid-Youth League banquet, I predicted all that. So. Aliquippa's mad.
You're like the Nostradamus.
Yeah.
Giving the predictions out.
So I can use this Super Bowl winning because I lost it all. The referees took it from me.
Did they?
Yeah, the referees took it from me. Well, a friend of mine is Gene Statutory, who's going to coach.
My dad knew him.
No, he knew Gene as well.
Very well.
Well, Gene's got the Super Bowl.
Because he's a Pittsburgh guy.
Yeah, Washington, PA.
He brought the card out this year.
What, race car? Oh, yeah, the measure, the white index card, yeah.
What color?
Yeah, the white index card, yeah. He did that.
Yeah.
But he got the Super Bowl.
Did he?
But if you see the pictures of New England and the referee celebrate with New England, it's his brother Tony.
No way.
Yeah, so hopefully now that Gene is doing the Super Bowl, maybe I'll win because Tony helped New England win the semifinals. So maybe Gene will help New England win the championship.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, you see him celebrating with the team. He's right in the middle.
He just was smiling.
Yeah, high five and smiling. Then at the end of the game, he goes over and hugs Brady.
Wow.
So
he did a good job.
Yeah, he went past all the Jacksonville guys to get to Brady to hug. But
well, why are you going to hug losers? Probably he's a Pittsburgh guy. We love the winners. You know that.
But is Brady the greatest of all time, would you say?
I think so.
I don't see nobody better.
How
with the
be?
rules. With the rules.
In this era.
In this era, yeah. And that's all you can
Plus
go by.
he's stronger and healthier than when he started.
Good Dr. G. You think Dr. G got any more green tea?
Yeah.
You know what? Well, let's work on getting Brady on Healthier, Happier You.
We're on a little hiatus right now while Bethany's out of the state. You name dropper.
I think he could share some things, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just drink the 6 to 12 cups of green tea that I drink each day.
That's it. And I tell you what, Levine, to talk, Michelle, I know we only got a couple minutes. I've never seen a superstar player do more with less. Brady's really never had a multitude of great weapons. He's like the Michael Jordan of football, because I call him Mr. Clutch, is because he brings everybody up to his level.
He makes them better.
He makes them better, just like Jordan did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're making some sense there.
Yeah.
Well, Big Ben can do some of that.
Yeah, when he knows where the guy's going to be. It's hard to play when it's almost like being an archer. If I blindfold you and spin you around, you don't know where the target is, and that's
I'm
where Ben
going
is.
to shoot that apple off your head.
Yeah, there you go. But if you don't know where the apple is, you can't shoot it. And that's Ben when he gets new receivers, because he's not putting much
he's your
practice
hero,
time.
and you're talking
I
like
love
this.
him, but he don't spend no time in practice, so he got to do it in the game.
When did you discover this year? Because you never talked about it before.
Well, he's always done that.
Okay.
He's always been. He's always been. That's
I'm
why
just checking the
That's why he used to
veracity of your
scramble
statements.
around and improvise. He don't.
Well, he's
trying
not
to
that
figure
fast
out
anymore.
Yeah, trying to figure out where guys are going to be.
I just have one question for you. Will the quarterback sneak be in the book this year?
No, Ben doesn't want it.
He's afraid of it.
His career, he could shorten his career. He don't want that.
You got an all-pro center, an all-pro guard. All you got to do is fall down.
Ben don't want it.
He just has to fall forward.
Yeah, he won't do
You
it.
can't get 5 inches.
He won't do it. And then
You heard it here first.
And he got a yes man as an offensive coordinator now, so he'll
That
never
Randy.
have to do it. Yeah.
Well, that's the guy he called down to be the buffer. Now he's the OC. And when are they going to change these defensive coaches? Come on, man. You could out-coach all 3 of those
no doubt.
coaches.
No doubt.
Unbelievable. If you see me looking up, I got to look up at the timer because that timer's up there, man.
That's the Will Chamberlain.
I know, I'm getting a sore neck. Devin Shea, you were right. Oh. Well, we got about 45 seconds to go. Anything you want to close with? You got anything else?
Yeah, University of Pittsburgh honored Charles Smith recently. So congratulations to Charles Smith. He's still tall.
As well he should be. They honored all their players there. Wasn't it 30 years ago that, Jerome Lane busted the backboard that was supposed to be unbreakable?
Yeah, and now his son recently got cut from the NFL, so yeah, that really helped him.
Well, 2 different subjects, Smokey Jim. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching our show. We appreciate you. And stay warm. This weather turned to winter again on us. Smoking Jim was out driving in there, but he made it to Williamsport. And please stay Joey strong.